Welcome back to the 305 Gridiron. On today's show, we are so excited to talk about the linebacker room. Our positional spotlight has finally reached a position of greatness, or at least we think it's greatness. We'll see what you think after the show is over, but it's been a while, Josh, since arguably the running backs that we've talked about a position room that we felt this good about. So before we get into it, let's roll that intro.
Yeah. Welcome to the 305 Gridiron. Anthony and Josh in the zone. They just slid on, breaking down plays all day. That's the biz on. Every snap, every trap, every blitz on. Talk turf, talk tape, talk pride. From the tailgate smoke to the goal line drive. Aqua Ace cooking heat when the mics turn up. If you reppin' Miami, put your hands right up. Hey, this the 305 Gridiron. Dolphins talk, we live it up. Anthony and Josh, Aqua Ace, yeah, they light it up.
Fins up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the 305 Gridiron. I'm your host this evening, Anthony Pinzone. Alongside me, I got my boy Aqua Ace, a.k.a. Josh, rolling in here with me. Josh, today we are talking about the linebacker room, one of the most exciting rooms to talk about on this Miami Dolphins roster. Honestly, we only have one more room to spotlight, and that's the safeties and the cornerbacks after this. I think we could skip it, just do another episode on the linebackers.
Done. I think we do an episode on Jordyn Brooks, an episode on Rodriguez, an episode on on Lewis, and call it a day.
I agree. Let's dive right in. So of course, last year this unit actually wasn't so bad. Jordyn Brooks won lots of awards. He got Player of the Week a few times. He had led the league in tackles.
Yep. And don't forget, let the fans know what our grouping charts are, so they know what they're listening to.
Oh, I will. I'm just recapping last year.
I thought you were diving right in because he's the first one on the list.
Listen, Jordyn Brooks, I haven't given him a lot of flowers. He deserves a little bit. Leading the league in tackles, I guess, is a good thing. So you should probably be highlighted for it. Yeah. So just to recap, Jordyn Brooks and Tyrell Dodson were our two starters last year. They both returned to the team. Jordyn Brooks yet to get a new deal, but we're expecting he might. It's either new deal or trade, depending on who you listen to. They're going to tell you one or the other. Omar. And then Tyrell Dodson rejoins the team as well, and Willie Gay Jr. also re-signed. I think the one linebacker who didn't rejoin us was Kenny Britt, and I think where did he go? New England?
Something like that, yeah. I think
something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
So we brought in Ronnie Harrison Jr. as a new addition. We got Tyrell Dodson returning, Willie Gay returning, and then, of course, the two biggest additions that we cannot wait to talk about, rookie linebackers Jacob Rodriguez and Kyle Lewis, two of our absolute favorite prospects leading up to the 2026 NFL Draft. We joked a lot during the mock draft season that it would be great to get one of these guys.
Just one. We just hope for one. Just one.
And we never, ever in all of the mocks mocked both of them to us.
Once, and we told each other offline. It was one of the first ones we did. We can't do that because it's never going to happen. It'll
never happen. Truthfully, we didn't think they were going to draft Jacob Rodriguez. We didn't really expect that they would have as much love for him as we do. So cannot wait to talk about him, man. As you mentioned, though, let's dive into what our tiers are. We have 5 tiers, but we can't call them tier 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 because that's just stupid and boring. So we actually rename them. The engine is a core player that the defense depends on. Spark plugs are playmakers who can change drives, create chaos, swing games. They are very good players. The wild card are guys with a lot of upside, but their role or their impact are still a little bit unclear, right? We're not sure what they're going to be doing, but we know they have some talent. The Prove It crew, again, guys with talent, but they haven't really earned a whole lot just yet. These are late round picks. These are your roster bubble veterans that kind of come and go, special teamers. I think that about sums up who the Prove It crew is. And then, of course, there is our actual roster bubble players, which is the Bubble Watch. These are the guys who aren't even a veteran presence. These are the final 30 spots on the roster, usually UDFAs, guys who are trying to stick in the league but haven't had much luck. So right now we're at a 90-man roster. About 30 of these guys get cut. Actually, more. 37.
Yeah, something like that. It's over 1,200 and something people.
About 1,200 players in the entire league will be cut on one day. It used to be tiered, but then the teams told the NFL that was stupid, and the NFL was like, "Yeah, I agree." So now we just do it once.
Yeah.
It also helps that we have a bye week during the preseason now. So that's a
Oh,
helpful
right.
little
I forgot about
transition.
that. I
Yeah.
totally forgot about that.
Like we used to have 4 preseason games, and when they lowered it to 3, we expected, oh, cool, the regular season is going to start a week earlier. It does not. They kept the schedule the same. So there's a bye week after week 3 of the preseason, and then the start of the regular season. It's the longest 2 weeks of the entire year. I swear.
It's fucking horrible.
Goes so slow. It's a good time to get your fantasy draft done, though.
Speaking of, no I'm kidding.
We should. I mean, maybe we'll host one next year. This year might be a little. We're doing a lot at once right now, but we'll see about that.
Yep.
We'll see about that. Let's talk about Jordyn Brooks. So he, of course, is the first name on the list. Led the league in tackles last year with, I believe, it was like 182 or something like that. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I believe that's around the number.
Close, 183.
Ooh, off by 1. Yeah, he is the unquestioned leader of our linebacker room, and I am wondering where you have him tiered, actually, because I'm curious on that.
Watch. No. Clear far and away the engine. One of the 2 engines that I have on this in this position room. Spoiler.
I see that in the show notes, and I think you're insane, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yes, we are, and I'm excited for you to talk me off of him because, anyways, we'll talk about him later. Jordyn Brooks, I think, is, and I'm higher. Am I crazy to say much higher on Jordyn Brooks than you are? I know, there have been some hit or misses with you on him, but
we have a love-hate relationship, Brooks and I.
You and Brooks.
It's one of those things where he doesn't know I exist.
Yeah. And you do.
And I criticize him a lot. So yeah.
I think Jordyn Brooks is everything you want in a middle linebacker. It's not his fault that Weaver put him in last year, specifically Weaver put him in positions that have to cover running backs and tight ends. It's never what he's going to be good at. I don't know. I don't understand why you would scheme Jordyn Brooks as a sideline to sideline linebacker. That's not who he is. He's going to stuff the running back down the quarterback's throat every single time. And when he was able to do that, he did it very well. He led the team, like you said, the league, like you said, 183 tackles total on the season, 99 of which almost 100 solo tackles, and 3.5 sacks and 1 forced fumble. He is the far and away leader, voice, whatever other acronym you could say to be a leader, captain of this team, or of this defense rather. And I'm not, maybe I'm crazy to say he's the captain, one of the captains of this defense. I don't think that that's insane to say.
No.
He brings urgency. He brings sure tackling. I don't have it in front of me, but I'd be real curious to see how many, what his missed tackle percentage was last year, given that he had so many tackles. And his ability to impact at every level from a run defense standpoint. And when I say it's not every level, that's a lie. Because if it was every level, he'd be able to cover someone.
5.2%, by the way.
I don't know while you're looking up while I'm talking, could you look up what the league average is? I'm curious.
I can try.
Yeah. I think he can do everything at an elite level except for cover. If you, the coach, are scheming Jordyn Brooks into multiple covered schemes a game, you are doing him and your team a disservice. Now arguments can be made. Well, last year we didn't really have much, so he had to do it. Okay, sure. We don't have to do it anymore. We have 2 rookies and really just the 2 rookies that are coming onto this team that are exclusively designed to fill the negative void that is Jordyn Brooks covering, right? Which if you scheme it properly, which I fully believe that this coaching staff has the wherewithal to do over the last coaching staff. It's just my opinion. Maybe I have some glasses on. I don't know. I think they're going to put Brooks into much better positions on a regular basis than he was put in last year. So as crazy as it is to say, he led the league in tackles last year. I think he could lead the league again in tackles this year.
Yeah, I can't find that stat for you, by the way, so I'm just going to have to leave it as is.
Fine.
But
that's fine. No big deal.
My problem with Brooks isn't that I think he's a terrible player. I think that you're right. And sometimes he was put in positions that are not his strength and he failed miserably. That's a problem for me if you're expected to be an all-star on the team. Like, you should probably learn from your mistakes and build up your weaknesses and get better at things. Like, all I can keep thinking of is the game, I want to say it was Washington. tell me if I'm wrong. They just picked on him all game, man, over the middle to the tight end, like endlessly, and that frustrated the hell out of me, and I became I excessively went in the other direction against Jordyn Brooks because of it. I'll admit that. But what infuriated me the most is that he won Player of the Week that week.
Because he had like 59 tackles.
I watched him get destroyed in this game, and then he got Player of the Week. You're right. They had two guys who were both in Tyrell Dodson and Jordyn Brooks, both on the field at the same time. Neither of them could cover worth a lick, and Jordyn was forced into doing things that is not his strong suit. But that's what really good NFL players are sometimes asked to do. Now, I do think they have corrected that. I think Sully and Half identified that as being an issue, and judging by the people that they signed have corrected it. It never made any sense to me how you have Britt and Gay on the roster and you don't put one of them alongside Brooks, given that they're both much better at pass coverage. That was one of the more frustrating decisions by Anthony Weaver Jr., honestly, as a defensive coordinator, to continue rolling Dotson out there. Yeah, he's aggressive, maybe too much. We'll talk about him later. But that's kind of where my beef with Brooks had. Like, that's why I hesitate to call him like one of the best players in the league, because one of the best players in the league doesn't have a very clear and obvious gap in their game like that. And so I still think he's a great player. 100% he's in the engine for me. Like 100%. I don't want people to think like, oh yeah, I think Jordyn Brooks is trash. And
wild card
playing. Yeah. But by the way, the guy who coached the Super Bowl winning Seattle Seahawks last year absolutely thought that about Jordyn Brooks and cut him in his first year as the coach. So like, it's not to say that Brooks is that bad, but clearly he's a scheme dependent linebacker who didn't fit that scheme, and they moved on to somewhere else, and he ends up in our laps, which ends up being freaking fantastic. What a waiver pickup.
Yeah, no kidding. Jesus.
Yeah. And I think Halfley and team will do a much better job of putting Brooks in a position to succeed, which is why I don't think that you're crazy to say he'll lead the league in tackles again, but also I don't see it happening because I don't think they're going to put him in a position to make him have to do that again. Like,
sure.
I tend to be of the opinion if you, especially if you're playing a 3-4 and you have 4 linebackers out there and one of your linebackers leading the league in tackles, somebody around him is not doing their job, right? Like that's kind of crazy to me. Like, at least back in the day when Zach led the league in tackles every year, he was the only guy there, right? Like it was Zach in the middle. So I'm a big fan of Jordyn Brooks. I've flip-flopped on him quite a bit. I really like him. I'm excited to see him in the Halfley system. And honestly, I do expect that he will be like another AP1 player this year, all-pro, first team all-pro player this year. I just think his stats are going to be for very different statistical reasons.
I love it. Yeah. And I understand your point about, look, if you're one of the best in the league, correct what you're bad at, but sometimes physically you're just limited. Right. And I don't know if Jordyn Brooks, who's built like a fucking shit brick house, small and stout, right? Small.
Small. And it may not be a fair thing for me to criticize. And who the hell am I? But like, that's just
you're the fucking co-host of the 305 Gridiron. That's who you are, sir. Don't you forget it.
That's what sticks with me when I think of him. I can't get that Washington game out of my head, man.
Yeah, that
backup quarterback.
Yeah, that left some black licorice level nastiness in our mouths.
Hey, but he won Player of the Week, so that's all that matters. Because he had 22 tackles or something. Yeah. Well, that's what happens when the guy you're covering catches every fucking ball. You have to tackle him.
Yeah, and I wonder. I mean, honestly, I'm not trying to dissect that game, but our cornerback room was god awful. Our edge room was god awful.
He wasn't in a good way. He wasn't put in a good position. He was teaching guys on the field in live time where they were supposed to be lining up. You could see the frustration in his face, and he was still balling out. So that's why I say maybe it's not a fair assessment to keep pinpointing that game.
But it's an honest assessment nonetheless.
But I mean, that's like where my brain goes. I don't remember many games like that. I don't have the mental capacity the memory capacity to remember games like that. But for that, whatever reason, that one sticks with me.
Yeah. Well, hopefully he changes your mind on a consistent basis and reinforces how I feel about him this year.
Well, one of the reasons I think he's going to have another fantastic season, but for different reasons. By the way, 20 and a half stuffs last year. I don't know if you mentioned that, but that's insane.
Nuts, isn't it?
Is because of the man we drafted in, I believe, the second round of the NFL draft. Pick number 11
of the
in
second
the second round. 43rd overall.
That's close.
A linebacker out of Texas Tech University, by the way, where Jordyn Brooks also hails from.
Yeah. And
one
Zach
of the
Thomas.
And Zach Thomas. One of the greatest stashes in the game today.
It's glorious.
Immediately.
Glorious.
Is none other than Jacob Rodriguez, who they bring in to essentially, we think, play alongside Jordyn Brooks. That is very much up in the air, depending on which site you go to, which analyst you ask, which coach you ask. Everybody has these two lined and configured differently. This room configured differently. To me, it doesn't make any sense to take this guy at 43rd overall and not immediately plug him in alongside Jordyn Brooks. I think Jacob Rodriguez is. Remember when Carson Swessinger came out and the Browns took him last year?
I wanted him so bad, dude. I wanted him so bad.
I mean, that's Rodriguez. It's just the two.
I think Rodriguez is better.
Tell me about him. I'm going to let you go off on your thing here. I think you're crazy for how you have him tiered, but let me hear your. Maybe you'll convince me.
Admittedly, I tiered him because I love him. Right. So this has less to do with how I think he might actually do and more so how I hope he does. But let's look at, I'm going to wax poetic here on Jacob Rodriguez for a second. I'm going to talk about his career stats, and then I want to focus on last year's stats in college at Texas Tech. So college career. I'm going to look over here because I have it all written down here. Sorry, it's not professional looking off camera, but 53 games.
Unprofessional swine.
Hey, have you met me? 302 total tackles in his college career in 53 games, 26 of which were tackle for loss, 6 sacks, 6 interceptions, 13 forced fumbles, 5 fumble recoveries, 12 pass breakups in college. Now, last year alone, 14 games played, 122 tackles, 11 TFLs, 1 sack, 4 interceptions, 7 forced fumbles last year.
Insane.
2 fumble recoveries and 6 pass breakups. He can do it all. He is the new, what's it called? The peanut punch. He's bringing it back.
Peanut punch was made famous by Peanut Tillman. He was a cornerback who used to play for the Bears.
Yeah. He is bringing it back in style. He won every single collegiate linebacker award, won the Lombardi Award, and finished 5th in Heisman Trophy. So the awards he won last year, the Butkus Award, the Bednarik Award, the Bronco Nagurski Trophy, the Lombardi Award, and finished 5th in Heisman Trophy. I mean, you can't do much more.
No.
And the reason
you said 4 interceptions last year?
4 interceptions, 1 sack, 11 TFLs, 6 pass breakups, 7 forced fumbles, and 2 fumble recoveries. And he played in 14, and all of that's in 14 games with 122 tackles.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, he's pretty okay.
By the
way, when his rookie year for Virginia, he had 8 catches for 65 yards. Like, what position was he playing?
Who knows? He was quarterback, right? Was he? Yeah, he was a quarterback, and then he transitioned over to linebacker. So I don't know. But what I do know is that, and you might think this is absolutely bananas, I think that he's the day 1 starter. And I think, I'm being generous. By week 6, I think it's by week 4. But let's just, fuck it. By week 4, he's wearing the green dot on the back of his helmet, and he's the coach on the field directing this entire defense. That is how good I think he can be. For all I know, he's a bust. I don't think he is. And I have him as, I know you're going to crucify me for this. He is the second of 2 engines in this room. I think he's going to play every single snap that he can, assuming he stays healthy. I think, like I said, by week 4, week 6 at the latest, he's going to be running this defense with the green dot. He's going to be communicating this defense as a middle linebacker who can rush the passer, cover, create turnovers. I mean, shit, he had 7 forced fumbles last year, and he's been doing it all offseason. There are tens of 15, 20 videos all over social media of him doing it. He did a peanut punch to Achane.
I saw that. Yeah.
He tracked him down in a
Yeah.
full sprint and forced fumbled him with a peanut punch and then recovered it. So, I mean, this dude is going to be a nightmare for the league. He has the potential, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion. I know I just admitted I loved him coming out of college. He has the potential to be one of the best linebackers in the league for an extended period of time. And I'm excited to watch. I am so excited to see him develop. And there was, to me, no other option because we need him to be an engine, but I genuinely believe he can be.
I love Jacob Rodriguez. I'm not ready to put him in the engine room yet, but I think he's definitely knocking on the door. He's got the wrench ready. He's tink, 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 tink. What an incredible story, though. I had to look that up real quick. Excuse me. At a high school, extremely versatile offensive player. He played quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and tight end for the University of Virginia in his freshman year. When the coach stepped down, he transferred to Texas Tech. They moved him to linebacker, and in 4 seasons, he's only played 4 seasons as a linebacker in his entire life, and ends up winning all those awards. Ends up being a 2nd-round pick. Yeah,
was he a 5th year?
He was a 5-year player, 5th-year senior. Yeah.
Oh, I thought
most of these guys were, because we're still talking about the COVID kids.
Oh, right.
We got another year or 2 of COVID kids before we're past that.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so 5th-year player. Listen, there's not really much else I could say that you haven't already. I am extremely excited for this kid. I don't know anything about the green dot stuff. I'd be surprised to see Brooks give that up, but hey, I wouldn't be surprised if Rodriguez earns it because this kid just – how do you do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't start his freshman, sophomore, or junior season. Didn't start any of them. His last 2 seasons, his senior and 5th-year senior seasons, is the only 2 he started. 120-plus tackles in both of those, right? So a 2-year starter coming out of Texas Tech. His alma mater is Jordyn Brooks' alma mater. He comes from the same, mentored by Zach Thomas. I mean, the story is just too good to be true here. If this kid ends up being bad, then I've completely just don't know anything about football anymore because I have no idea. Right. Like, I have no idea what I'm watching anymore if this kid doesn't end up being absolutely phenomenal. And if he's not starting day 1, I've heard other YouTubers and analysts and stuff say that they don't expect him to start day 1. Why the hell not? Who the fuck are you starting over him?
Tyrell
Dodson or Willie Gay in there? Why? Like, what kind of season are you expecting to have where Tyrell Dodson or Willie Gay is going to do anything of measure for your defense? That makes no sense to me. I do have him at the spark plug. That's tier 2. That's higher. Normally, every rookie, if you've been watching our spotlights, every rookie I give a wild card to.
Same.
This is the first one I've given a spark plug to.
For the most of them, yeah.
Oh, maybe Proctor had one. But yeah, there's not much else to say, man. Like, everything is written, is laid out. There's a storybook waiting for this kid to just have an amazing NFL career. And I'm going to be so absolutely floored or shocked if that doesn't happen.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, I don't know. And maybe I'm setting myself up for a massive collapse.
Maybe.
He's a rookie. We don't really know how it's going to translate.
No.
How many times have we seen it? But I don't believe in stars aligning and all this other crap. But what I can tell you is that if I believed in it, there are no more aligned stars than Jacob Rodriguez and the Miami Dolphins.
I can't believe it would not have shocked me if he made it into the first round. I think the only reason he didn't make it into the first round is because off-ball linebackers just don't have the value rate.
Right. Agreed.
And like,
I don't know. I didn't mention it. I see him playing as a middle linebacker if we have 4 linebackers, him and Jordyn Brooks are in the middle. Yeah. And Kyle Lewis and insert probably Willie Gay for me on the outside.
I think he's an elite player. And
Mhm.
and the crazy part is he's already an elite player and he's only 2 years in.
Yeah.
Realistically, right?
Mhm.
First 2 years as a linebacker, he sat and he learned the position. Next 2 years, he dominated it.
Yep.
So he's 2 years into this position. He's already dominated in college. He heads to the NFL as a early second round pick, 43rd overall, and he has a wide open position in this linebacker core to take the reins and just run with it.
Yeah, we traded up for him, didn't we?
No, we sat.
Oh, we sat.
We wanted to trade up. We were yelling at the TV to trade up.
I thought for some reason in my head we traded up
The
a couple
Jets were
spots.
trying to trade up
That's
to
what maybe
jump
that's what it was.
us
Yeah.
to take him. God, if he would have got drafted by the Jets, I would have just had an absolute meltdown.
Yeah. Well, it was like Schlesinger getting drafted by the Browns. I was
Yeah.
like, oh God.
Another
What a
guy falls
waste.
to the second. It's like, how?
Yeah.
If you don't mind, I'm gonna skip Kyle Lewis for now. I want to come back to him.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to Willie Gay and Tyrell Dodson and Ronnie Harrison first.
Sure. Any specific reason or?
Yeah, I think he's multifaceted. I don't think he's necessarily just a linebacker. So I kind of want to roll him.
I agree.
I kind of want to roll him towards the end so he rolls into the next episode
Sure. I love it.
a little better. So let's go to Willie Gay Jr. I was actually excited to see this re-signing, and this
Me
was
too.
before the draft, obviously. We had no idea that we were even going to draft a single linebacker, let alone two. It wasn't really high on our positions of what we thought Sully's positions of need were going to be.
Mhm. It was high on our collective
It was high
list.
on our personal
Yeah.
positions of need, but not like
Mhm.
when we were doing our realistic mock drafts. We were like, we don't realistically think Sully's going to take a linebacker.
No, that's why we ended up taking Kyle Lewis quite often in like the
Yeah.
third or fourth because he was there.
Right.
Right.
So Willie Gay Jr., I feel like last year, this is not an elite player. This is not I wouldn't even call him a spark plug player. I don't think he's in the top 2 tiers of players. But I think when he was with Kansas City, he was a very good role player. And I think with Miami, he could be a very good role player. But last year, he just was not given any opportunity, man. Like when he was on the field, I forget who was in the chat, who called him Big Play Willie Gay. Like he just made plays.
Yeah.
He went on the field and he made plays. This is not a special teamer. This is a defensive role player.
Mm-hmm.
And I am really excited to have him back, even with the excitement for Jacob Rodriguez and the excitement for Kyle Lewis. And I have so much excitement for those guys. I want to see Hafley utilize Willie Gay Jr. in a way that benefits him. And I think he could be a surprise player.
Agreed. Yeah. I mean, we said it, half jokingly most of the time, but not so much. We called him Big Play Willie Gay, like you just said. I mean, there was a reason. When he got in, he made big plays. The problem was
He never got in?
he never got it, which is criminal. Like absolutely criminal that Tyrell Dodson basically lapped him 3 times in playing time. For what? And I don't know, man. I think I didn't have him as a primary who I thought I would like to see targeted or re-signed rather early, but I believe you did. And you said it on the show. You were like, I think one of the first things we should do is get Willie Gay back on a very team-friendly deal if we can, because I think you said something along the lines of his veteran presence and his big playability, blah, 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 blah. And I agree wholeheartedly. And the cool thing is that you called it, and then like I think a week later it was like Dolphins signed Willie Gay, and I was like, that's fucking great. I love it.
Yeah.
And I do think that he brings the speed aspect that Jordyn Brooks doesn't. Where I think Jordyn Brooks is mostly the kind of big power puncher that will stop the run. Jacob Rodriguez is kind of the hybrid. He can stop the run. He can drop in coverage. Willie Gay is a sideline to sideline demon. I mean, a demon in the cover game. And I think we're going to need it. And I'll be real curious to see. Obviously, we don't know what kind of like defense we're going to play. Are we going to have 4 linebackers? We're going to have 3 linebackers. We don't know. If we have 4 linebackers, or even, dare I say, even if we have 3 linebackers, Willie Gay needs to be one of them, in my opinion, at least to start.
I'm curious to see how they're gonna utilize him, because I didn't remember him playing this much special teams, but he played 29% of special team snaps for us last year, which is insane. He only played 12% of defense. He had more defensive snaps than special team snaps, just the way the percentage works out.
Yeah.
But when he was with Kansas City, he played 600 snaps a year. Like he was playing nearly 70% of their snaps. Then he goes to New Orleans and not much, 25%. Comes to Miami, 12%. Like, I think there's way more skill in this player than just a special teamer. And honestly, this feels like a last chance for him to prove it to this Halfley staff that he can perform on defense and is not like already just a veteran special teamer.
Mhm.
You know?
Agreed. I have him as a wild card. I don't know if you said yours. Sorry if I missed it. I was trying to multitask, but I do think he's a wild card. I think I'm hoping that he's given the just opportunity to get ample snaps in this defense.
Yeah, I think he's on the border of wild card and prove it crew for me. I think, like I just said, this is almost like a last chance for him to be a defensive player.
He's young though, isn't he? Or am I like crazy?
I believe 27 is what I saw.
I mean, that's still young, dude. Right? I mean,
not in the NFL.
Not crazy young, but I mean, that's still 3 years.
This is his year 28 season, so he'll be 28 this year.
Okay. So he's got at least 2 or 3 years before. And again, he hasn't played a lot, so there's not as much wear and tear. So he might be able to stretch out another contract.
When you're a fringe player, though, late 20s is old, right? Like,
well, fair.
Because the fringe players start getting kicked out for rookies and younger players and upside guys, which we could very well see with Willie Gay. There's no guarantee he actually makes the team, ironically enough.
Dude, I'd be so sad. I'd be so sad if Willie Gay got cut.
One of the guys he's battling against is none other than Tyrell Dodson. Tyrell Dodson played for us last year after getting cut by Seattle. I think it was last year and the year after. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that one, but I believe that's correct.
Yep.
Sorry. Yeah. So he got cut in the middle of the 2024 season, finished it with us, and then he played the 2025 season. Had 129 tackles last year, 5 sacks. Pretty okay statistically, but when you watch him on the field, you see a guy who is so aggressive.
Yeah.
That it often puts him in a bad spot when we're relying on him to make a play, right? Now, don't get me wrong. I have definitely waxed poetic on Tyrell Dodson last year during our recap shows where he has an insane ability to come up and make a stop in the open field at the line of scrimmage. Like, insane. But for every one of those, there was like 3 where he just ran right past the guy or completely whiffed on a coverage or anything. Like, an incredibly frustrating up and down player.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, and I don't know if I can add much more. I think, his starting experience is going to be key for this room. Because again, we only talked about one of the 2 rookies, and we'll get to the other one in here in a moment, or in a little bit rather. But there are going to be 2 rookies that are playing a substantial amount of playing time between the 2 of them. So you're going to need veterans in this room. And where I don't think Tyrell Dodson is overly a success story in the NFL, I do think he's a quality level player. And to quote Kyle Krabs, he's a quality level backup is what Tyrell Dodson is, right? And I don't think that that's a slight on Tyrell Dodson. Well, maybe it is. He probably views himself as a starter. But I think to your point, there's such a fluctuation of good things and bad things. There's zero. I don't feel comfortable. I'm excited about him. I'm excited to see what he does, but I'm equally nervous about what he does. And I can't justify starting him over the 3 other players that we've talked about so far because of that fact. Now, to your point, when he gets time and he decides that he wants to make a play, I'm not sure there's anyone in this room that makes a better tackle in space.
The thing with him too, and the thing that I think goes against him and Willie Gay, especially, I think these are 2 veterans very much playing for fringe roster spots here. I don't think they have the versatility. We'll talk about another guy who does in a second. But the staff seems to love versatility, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Dodson and Gay, they kind of just do their one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Willie Gay is a fringe linebacker, not starting linebacker, but depth piece linebacker who is okay in coverage, better in coverage than he is at stopping the run, I think you could say. Tyrell Dodson's kind of the reverse of that, right? I think the next guy we're going to talk about here, and just briefly because I don't know, I think he's probably a roster bubble spot, is Ronnie Harrison Jr. And I don't know if you remember Ronnie Harrison Jr., but he actually came out as a safety, and he played safety most of his career. He's actually only played linebacker for 2 of his 7 seasons. He played 5 years at safety, 2 years at linebacker. And the reason for signing him, especially so late, it was a post-June 1st signing, is immediately recognizable when you see that versatility. Like, he's played safety and linebacker. And if you're comparing these 3, clearly Dodson has had the best career of the 3. Willie Gay next, Ronnie Harrison after that.
Right.
But if you're a back half of the roster player, you gotta figure versatility is going to be on your side when it comes to who do I want to be. Do I want the guy who can play safety and linebacker, or do I want the guys who are kind of one-trick linebackers?
I mean, that's a fair and accurate statement, right? I mean, Tyrell Dodson I have as a prove-it crew. Same with Ronnie Harrison, right?
Yeah.
But to your point, versatility is key.
Yeah.
I think, and this coaching staff has said that, like, not subtly. They've blatantly come out and said it across every single position. Versatility is key. And, you know, I'll be real curious to see how many linebackers do we carry. And I think that's going to obviously, I feel like we're being very repetitive with this point, going to depend on what defense we're running. And we don't know yet. I mean, some of us do, maybe some of them know. Hopefully we don't. And go ahead.
Yeah. I do think ultimately I could see Brooks, Rodriguez, Gay, and Dodson all making it. On top of Kyle Lewis, because we'll talk about him. I'll tell you more on my thoughts on Kyle Lewis in a second, because I know I'm being a bit evasive with that conversation. But I think, you know, we kept 4 or 5 last year.
Mm-hmm.
I could see those 4. I just wanted to mention that don't overlook the Ronnie Harrison signing, because I just think that the timing of it is weird. It tells me maybe they're not so happy with the veteran presence that they have there in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And the versatility is a real thing, like you just mentioned, that these guys have mentioned on and on and on and on and on. In every conversation they talk about like 3 things, like be smart, love football, and versatility.
And be versatile.
Right? Yeah.
Just be versatile.
So like that's why, like, I know originally we were just going to kind of mention Ronnie Harrison Jr., but then when I started thinking about it, I'm like, man, I think he could dethrone Gay or Dodson for the final spot there.
I mean, look, we said it last show. We said it the show before. We said it the show. We said it all off season. This is going to be a fun season to watch as long as you don't anticipate many wins. And this is an example of something that's exciting because we just don't know. This team was ripped down to the studs, both from a player standpoint, a front office standpoint, and a coaching staff standpoint. Across the board. And then they brought in some players and they signed some players and they drafted some players. And now we get to sit back as fans knowing the expectations are very low. And if you're a fan that has high expectations, I'm sorry. I'll give you a hug when the season's over.
I know we have a few regulars who have some high expectations, and
very, very much so.
I hope you're right.
Me too. I'm not sitting here saying I hope we suck, but I can also read the writing on the wall. This team is, when you have as much dead cap space as we do, which is I'm glad we did.
Yeah.
You know, I don't.
There's a little bit of precedence for it with what the Broncos recently did, but I just don't know that we have a unit as good as what they were putting on the field in terms of their defense.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, look, I think 6 wins personally. If we get to 6, that is I'm building
really cool because we have a hard schedule.
I'm building statues. And I think to kind of curve back here to the linebackers, that's what's exciting about this room specifically. Well, really this roster, but this room specifically is who's going to shake out.
Yeah.
You know, how many are we going to carry? Is someone like Ronnie and Tyrell Dodson going to make such a strong point that we decide to carry one less player somewhere else because this coaching staff cannot see a season without one of these 2 or both of these players being on the roster and contributing in some way, shape, or form? Or do none of them make it? and it's somebody we signed from that's been cut from another team, and both rookies blow up and take over the spots, and we don't need them anymore, and we can save some money. I don't know. It's going to be really, really fun to watch. I can tell you this. I wouldn't be sad if either of them are here or if either of them are gone, if I'm being candid.
Let's say we get into Kyle Lewis here.
So I'm going to sit back
Lewis,
and the floor is yours, good sir.
Kyle Lewis was drafted in the 4th round, the 38th pick, not a high value draft pick. That's what high value draft picks, to clarify, are the first 3 rounds. That's what most teams consider high value, and anything after that is considered a lottery pick if you hit, right? So Kyle Lewis gets drafted 38th pick of the 4th round. He is our second 4th round pick. Trey Moore was drafted before him. We love him, but a lot of question marks around him are a lot of question marks that people are asking are, what position is he going to play? Played safety in college. When we drafted him, we listed him as a safety on the draft card. But he also played a lot of linebacker in college, another position where we could have an opening. Why I saved him for last is because he's kind of a cross between linebacker and safety. We don't yet know where he's going to play. And I have a little bit of a bold idea here in that, why don't we see if one of these teams out here wants to make a little tradesy for Jordyn Brooks and we just start the 2 rookies? If it's a lost season anyways, why not see what you got? And I am a little higher on Kyle Lewis than maybe most people because of his Senior Bowl performances.
So good.
Not even just the game, but practice. I mean, him and Bud Clark, they were calling them Lewis and Clark because of how they were always making plays in practice and 7-on-7s and all of that other stuff. Like those 2 players made a name for themselves more than anybody else in that game. And we end up with Kyle Lewis. We end up with a straight baller. The Senior Bowl, most people kind of scoff at, but this is a chance for many players to face top tier competition that they haven't had a chance to face yet. And Kyle Lewis excelled across the board. Yeah. Pitt doesn't necessarily play the hardest schedule in college. So for him to come out and absolutely own the practices and own the 7-on-7s and own the game against top tier talents from much bigger schools, and at least from football terms, I think there's something special about Kyle Lewis. And I love Jacob Rodriguez, I really do, but there's something in this kid Lewis. I think this is the diamond in the rough pick that's maybe not so hidden, maybe not so in the rough. I think it's right before our eyes. Kyle Lewis, to me, is one of the most exciting players we drafted in the draft. And whether we end up lining him up at linebacker or safety, where there's plenty of opportunity there too, I think this man is just going to do nothing but make plays. And he is going to make it so hard for Hafley to keep him on the bench. He is going to be playing early and often and probably at a bunch of different positions. But I am the most excited out of all the rookies we have, all 13 of them.
It's crazy.
I am the most excited to see where Kyle Lewis plays and how well he performs.
Wow. I mean, I don't really know how I follow that. I should have gone first. All you're going to hear me talk is want. Kyle Lewis, look, I think everyone knows he's a hybrid linebacker. He's explosive as shit. You and I were salivating over his talent from the Senior Bowl, from his college tape when we were doing all 22 deep dives. Mock drafts galore. He was in just damn near every one of them. And for good reason. I mean, he is a hell of a player. Yeah. And I think hitting on the versatility, I don't know. I almost can say I guarantee that he does not get situated into a single position on this team. Right. He is the type of player that will be in for all 4 downs, but could play 4 different positions.
Yeah.
Right. He might start down 1 as an outside linebacker. He might shift in to middle linebacker next to Jacob Rodriguez for play 2. Then our defense changes and goes to big nickel, and he's playing the big slot cover corner. Then he goes back on a 4th and long or 4th and short or 4th and whatever the fuck, and he's playing safety. That's the type of talent Kyle Lewis is, in my opinion. He is a genuine Swiss. Think JOK. Jeremiah
Yeah.
Owusu-Koramoah.
Owusu-Koramoah,
When he was
yeah.
coming out of college, he's dealt with a shitload of injuries, so maybe not the best comparison, but could do it all. Coming out of college, he was like, dude, this guy's going to be a top of the first round draft pick, everything. Kyle Lewis, I think, is a better athlete than JOK, can play more positions than JOK, and JOK is phenomenal. I'm elated to be able to say that our Miami Dolphins not only drafted Jacob Rodriguez, but also had the wherewithal to double down and draft Kyle Lewis. And the fact that he fell, I don't give a shit what round he was drafted in. That was a steal. Because we had him, on our draft board. I don't remember where he was. You can go check out this is a shameless plug here, the 305gridiron.com. It's free. You can go see our big board from last year. I believe we had him in the third round.
Him as a 7th linebacker in the 3rd round.
Yeah. And we got him in, what would you get, a 5th?
It was the compensatory picks in the 4th round.
In the 4th. Okay, so call
practically
it
a 5th round pick. Or yeah.
And I think it was and I know people are going to say, oh, you're a homer. Oh, of course you're going to say this. You're a Dolphins fan. I genuinely mean this as an NFL fan. I think this was one of the steals of the draft where we got him. It's very similar to how I felt about Jordan Phillips last year. Right.
Yeah, the main difference between him and Rodriguez, I would be shocked if Rodriguez isn't end up being an elite linebacker. Right. I would not be shocked if Kyle Lewis ends up flaming out. I feel like this is such a
boomer bust.
And it's a boomer bust player.
Yeah.
Like for sure. Like we've seen guys like this whose career get ruined because they don't pick a position for them. So that's my major concern. It's like if they're asking him to do too much too soon, we may destroy his career before it even starts.
But the ones that can do it turn out to be elite.
Yeah.
And well, I'm not saying that Kyle Lewis is elite, but I'm not saying he's not. And time will tell, because it really depends on how much work, because doing that, it's like our jobs. We're both in IT.
Mm-hmm.
I wear multiple hats every day. You wear thousands of hats every day.
Lots.
And, you can only be so good at so many things without having time to prep or learn. Yeah. And Kyle Lewis is going to be asked to do a lot more than Jacob Rodriguez is probably going to be asked to do, if I'm being honest.
Probably. Yeah.
I think Jacob Rodriguez has a very clear path to this team. I think Kyle Lewis is going to have to learn damn near every position on the defensive side of the ball, so that because he's going to be asked to be a star at 3 or 4 positions on a regular basis at any given time. So you're going to have to know what everyone's going to do. And that's going to require Kyle Lewis to come in every single day, study his ass off, go into multiple position rooms. And it's going to be overwhelming for a rookie. And it really comes down to him because he's got the fucking talent to do it. It's just a matter of if
Jeff Hafley came to you tomorrow and said, hey man, I need Kyle to focus on one position. I want him to get great at one position. And then next year we'll revisit a second one. What position do you tell him to put him at?
Fuck, that's tough, dude. Personally, given the players, so this is assuming we're not trading Brooks and any of that crap.
Correct.
Like, yep. Okay.
The team is the team. Lineup as roster as it is. Where would you put Kyle?
I put him.
And where you put him?
Strong safety. Because strong safety or the box safety, right? The one that comes down. It's not the free safety that stays as the blanket. And I think with his coverage ability, his speed, his power, his smarts, his intelligence, his ability to read defenses, his ability to shift his hips in coverage, he can make just as big of an impact as you at the strong safety position as he would as a linebacker. Plus, he's giving you key high-level play at a position of need. Because I think if we go into this to next year with the linebackers we have, I think we're good.
So I think we could always battle. You're putting in a camp battle with Dante Trader Jr. right off the bat. You're like, okay, 5th round pick last year, 4th round pick this year.
Yeah, and I don't think it's really fair for Dante Trader, and I like Dante Trader, but I think Kyle Lewis as an athlete and as a talent is far and away superior.
Yeah, like I think Trader's going to have the upper hand, right? His second year in the NFL. You get used to the speed of the game, but 5th round pick, nothing's promised, man. Even like if you're year 2, year 3, like if you make it to a second contract as a 5th round pick, okay, you can breathe. But if you're a 5th round pick in your second year, hold your breath, bud.
But I don't know. Like Dante Trader Jr. It shouldn't be a starter. Like, let's be honest.
He is right now.
Well, out of necessity, right? But
right.
I don't know if he starts on. I mean, maybe I'm crazy to say this. I don't know if he starts on any other team in the NFL. Now, that is not to say he won't.
You can say that about most of our starters.
Right. But that's not to say that Dante Trader is a bad player. I think he's a phenomenal player. I liked what he showed last year. I thought he showed growth. He showed like just massive man huevos, right? And learning how to play a position in a time of turmoil with a team in shambles. And he showed up every day and he did what he was supposed to. But he is in no way, shape, or form an NFL, a regular NFL starter, in my opinion. At least not yet. I'm not saying he can't be. He is ideally a rotational player at this point in time, year 2. I think Kyle Lewis would blow him out of the water from a position standpoint if given the opportunity to. If Kyle Lewis said, "Hey, you're going to be a strong safety. That's what you're going to be. We'll put you package something for linebacker, 15 snaps a game or whatever, but you're going to primarily be a strong safety." I think he starts immediately.
I mean, I think they're going to give him a chance. Honestly,
what about you? I mean, you're the Kyle Lewis glazer. Like, I mean, I am too, but like, you really, really like him. Like,
I really love him, but I think realistically, he's gonna have to earn his way up. I think he's gonna, like everybody, he's gonna start on special teams. He's gonna have to keep making plays, keep making practices, keep doing all the right things in the film room, and he's gonna have to find his way into a starting role, whether it's because of injury or just because of outworking guys.
Right, but if Hafley comes to you tomorrow and says, "We're going to put him in a single spot based on your recommendation,"
yeah,
where are you putting him? Special teams, fine, cool, but where are you having him focused his time?
Yeah, right now, safety? I mean, given the current roster, safety's probably a bigger need, but in the long term, would you think he's a better linebacker? I don't know.
I mean, I think he should be a linebacker because it's terrifying. But to your point, the reason I said strong safety is because we fucking need it.
Yeah. I don't know where he's better. And I don't know where he'll be better long term. That'd be a really hard question to answer. But I think, I'd love to see him at linebacker. But if he ends up lined up as safety, then let's go, buddy. Let's go.
Yeah. And please, for those of you that are watching, I think Kyle Lewis should be a linebacker because that is amazing. He is a prime outside linebacker. It's exactly what you want.
Yeah.
But he can also play safety. So he would have to, like, if he was going to be exclusively a safety, obviously you'd have to slim down a little bit, get a little twitchier, work on his, mechanics and stuff. But I think he's a day one starter at either one of those, or a day one starter at safety, a day one key rotation piece at linebacker right now, given the linebacker room we have.
I wonder what he's at right now. At the combine, he was at 220.
Yeah, he's probably close to that, I would assume. I wonder what his playing weight's going to be, though.
Me too. Well, honorable mentions, man. We got Jackson Woodard and DJ Herman coming in as UDFAs, trying to make a name for themselves here. One of the harder positions, honestly, to come onto the team as a UDFA. There's not a whole lot of room to earn a spot. There's no position where it's easy to come in as a UDFA, let's be honest. But definitely they have I think they have a pretty low chance of making it. But do want to give them their shout out.
Of course. They made a roster.
Yeah,
right. It's huge for them. I just don't think they'll make it the real one.
So in the wrap up, man, linebacker room is one of the most exciting positions on the field. This is another we talked about in the offensive line spotlight about how that offensive line training camp battles are going to be nuts and so much fun to watch. I think the linebacker room is right there with it. I think Jordyn Brooks has one spot locked up. That other spot feels wide open.
Depends who
depending who you talk to, some fans don't believe that Jordyn Brooks spot is locked up. They honestly see him as the next guy to get traded. So he doesn't have a deal done yet. It's certainly possible.
Well, we don't have any fucking money. Like that. I mean, but I don't know how much you put into this, stock, or how much stock you put into this, I guess is the best way to say it. But Hafley and Sully said when they got here, We have key veterans, and it was, who was it? Sealer. It was Achan. It was Brooks, and was there one more?
It was not Sealer, it was Brewer.
Oh, Brewer.
It was Achan, Brewer, and Brooks were the 3 building blocks that they named.
2 of them got deals. And so there's nothing. I know it's all moving money around, and you can only do certain things at certain times, and you got to wait to get to certain points in the season and the off season where more money becomes available, and you got to sign your rookies and, re-sign certain. But I get it. I have no reason to believe that Brooks won't be on this team and won't get a new deal. He deserves it, but I also wouldn't be shocked if he was traded. But I just think that this front office is very poignant and very direct with the things that they say. And so if you look at the trend, 2 of the 3 players that they mentioned as cornerstone building blocks got new deals. There's no reason to believe that Brooks wouldn't, in my opinion.
So assuming he's the engine in this room, I think that the engine is Jordyn Brooks. Let's say one of each. I think the spark plug is Rodriguez, and I think the biggest wild card is Kyle Lewis. Would you agree?
No. I have the engine as both Brooks and Rodriguez because I think they're going to get 85.
Cars only have 1 engine, dude. You can't have 2.
That's not true. That's not true.
That is true.
Hybrids. You have gas and battery.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not an engine guy, but boom. Spark plug, I have Kyle Lewis. I think he's the perfect spark plug because he's going to give you everything. He's going to give you nothing. Biggest wild card, I have Trey. Nope, can't have Trey Moore. He's not on this.
Trey Moore we did last episode.
Yep. Biggest wild card, then in that case, I have Kyle Lewis as well. That's it.
Yeah, I put Kyle Lewis here because I think it's the perfect, like that definition defines him, right? When we talk about wild cards, it's real upside, but roll in year 1 impact or unclear. We have no idea where this man's playing. So
who's your then?
My spark plug is Jacob Rodriguez.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here, I'm going to change that just so.
Let's get to the important questions here, though. The head-to-heads that we need to know. Who is the most? Who we talked about it before, and maybe I kind of buried the lead on this one. But who's the veteran guy? Who wins the veteran competition between Willie Gay Jr., Tyrell Dodson, and Ronnie Harrison Jr.?
Okay, who do I want? Differs from who do I think. I think Tyrell Dodson wins it. I want Willie Gay to win it. What about you?
I agree. I agree. You know what? Because I think Willie Gay sticks around if he's needed on special teams, but I honestly think they're going to stick Kyle Lewis on special teams, and then Willie Gay is not really needed there. So Tyrell Dodson ends up getting the spot. And I don't hate it. Right? I just don't want Dodson starting.
No, yeah. I think Dodson as a starter, bad. As a role player, good.
Yeah. So is that the biggest roster fight too? You think those 3 head-to-head is the biggest roster fight?
Yep, I do.
Yeah.
I think it's Tyrell Dodson versus everyone else that's not named Kyle Lewis, Jacob Rodriguez, or
what do you think about Tyrell Dodson versus Jacob Rodriguez for the second starting spot?
I don't think it's Mike Tyson versus me.
Yeah, but I don't think the coaches see it that way. I think Dodson leads that battle right now.
That's crazy. That's criminal, in my opinion. It is. I mean, yeah, sure, he's the veteran, so he has veteran experience. But to your point, that shouldn't matter as much to the Miami Dolphins as it does to any other team.
Yeah. Specifically
in 2026, because you alluded to it perfectly earlier when you said maybe Chris Brooks get traded and we start 2 rookies. What else do we have to lose? I think it on a team that's contending, veteran leadership, veteran play matters. Veteran historical veteran play matters. For the 2026 Miami Dolphins, it shouldn't matter at all, because what do you play? I mean, what do you play? The best you're going to do is 6-7 wins. I mean, and that's if everything works. I mean, I just don't see it. And the talent discrepancy, in my opinion, and fuck whatever my opinion's worth, it means a lot to us and to the show, I guess. So does yours. Is that I think, and maybe I'm crazy, I think Jacob Rodriguez is already a more talented player, and he hasn't played a single NFL snap. And I don't think it's particularly close.
But I think the difference is when you and I look at talent. It's purely their ability on the field.
True.
And when coaches look at talent, like coaches in the building look at talent, there's a
It's
lot
everything
more
else.
mixed in.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like ability on the field, probably the biggest weight, right? It's probably weighted the most, their ability to make plays on the field.
But
then
locker
there's
room
also
leadership and
their ability to be in the right position at all times on the field, their knowledge of the playbook, their leadership, their communication skills, their work
Chemistry.
ethic,
Yep.
right? The freaking diet and exercise probably play a role in all of this. So it's like
Sure.
we're looking at one point on
Out
a
of 10.
huge chart. Like
Yeah.
we only have access to this one point on this chart. And the coaches are like, yeah, but the chart is actually a map of the world.
Right. But but I will say this. Yes, I 1000% agree with you. But I think, and I don't mean to keep harping on Jacob Rodriguez. This is just a question. This is the topic. Rodriguez versus Dotson in this case.
Mhm.
I think Jacob Rodriguez's talent is so good. He's going to make it impossible for you to give a shit about all other 9 aspects.
I mean, that's my hope as well.
Me too.
And
Yeah.
and I think he's bright enough to pick up the nuances and enough that they're like comfortable starting him over a Dotson.
Yeah. Will
I
he
just don't
make
want-
rookie mistakes? Yes.
Right. Like
Mhm.
I think fans are watching and they're maybe thinking to themselves, yeah, this is locked and loaded. It's Brooks and Rodriguez. I'm just trying to erase that narrative a little bit because I don't think it is.
Yeah.
I think it's Brooks and Dotson are the ones penciled at the top right now. And Rodriguez, Lewis, Anderson or Harrison. Why do I keep trying to call him Anderson?
Wow.
And Harrison are the ones trying to knock on the door, right?
Yeah. I mean, look, that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Take the safe bet and the known quantity or the known
entity.
Thank you, Jesus, entity over the rookie question mark. I just don't think for the 2026 Dolphins that makes a lot of sense. Personally.
Oh, if that ends up being the starting lineup come preseason, I'm rioting. But I do think right now, before a single training camp, before a single preseason game, before a single anything of meaningful football, just a rookie mini camp, not a first round pick, I just think Rodriguez, even if it's just for ego purposes, is probably slotted in behind Dotson.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I'm wondering, I mean, even starting preseason week 1, if Rodriguez isn't on, fine, I can get it. If by week 1 of the regular season, Rodriguez isn't the starter and he's shown out during the preseason,
I'll be so mad.
this podcast is going to have to be bleeped and marked as adults only. You know what I mean? Like
it already is, but yeah,
fair. But even more so.
What's your confidence in this room?
B+ for me. I really like what this room has. I love the versatility. I love Brooks. Obviously, I'm glazing Rodriguez as much as humanly possible. And I think Kyle Lewis is the ultimate spark plug wild card when we talked about it all. And I think the fact that Willie Gay and Tyrell Dodson in this conversation, in this lens on this podcast, are linebackers 4 and 5 shows us that this room has talent and is probably, well, maybe not probably, in my opinion, the deepest room on this team. You could have a conversation about maybe offensive line now because there are some good players, but again, we don't know other.
Yeah.
But I don't know another position room where you can go 5 deep and say, I could argue if I needed to, if my life depended on it, I could argue any 5 of those as a starter.
Yeah.
Not the running back room, not the quarterback room, not the wide receiver room, maybe the offensive line.
Certainly not the quarterback room.
Yeah. Well, they don't need. Yeah, exactly. But
I think my confidence level right now is sitting at a B. I think there's a lot of question marks. You know, Jordyn Brooks, solid. Jacob Rodriguez, I believe in my heart of hearts, is going to be solid. There's a lot of questions around Kyle Lewis, despite my love for him. I'm trying to be as balanced as possible.
Sure,
despite him being my favorite rookie, he's obviously fell to nearly the 5th round for a reason. There's positional confusion there. So I don't know what role he's going to play in the linebacker room, if any. right? Maybe he gets moved to safety, and then this whole conversation was for nothing. And then Dotson and Willie Gay, while they are, I think, fine depth pieces, they do not move the needle for me in any capacity when it comes to a confidence level.
Right.
So I think this room is one of my most confident rooms at a B.
Yeah. I actually think between the aggregate grade, I think this might be our top room. I haven't looked. Don't quote me on that, but I haven't looked. But I think
running back's probably up there somewhere.
But I don't think we gave anyone an A.
Oh no, because behind A-Chan is
questions, right? Offensive line, I think, was a B minus or I don't have them in front of me.
Offensive line is a C and a C plus.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can get to the running back room. We actually didn't do confidence grades in the quarterback or running back episode, so we don't know. We started the confidence grades, I think, in the wide receiver episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's criminal. That was a lack of foresight on my part. Sorry about that.
Actually, we didn't do confidence in that either. So who the hell knows? Confidence in the linebacker room is definitely the highest we've had on the defense so far, and probably, spoiler alert, will be the highest on the defense.
Well, you're not high on the cornerback room? What's wrong with you?
By the way, if you made it all the way to this late into the episode and you're not subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button below. We have a goal of 250 subscribers by August 11th, and if we hit that goal, we are going to do a jersey giveaway. We don't know what kind of jersey yet, but we'll figure that piece out by the time it gets here. August 11th is still a little less than 2 months away, I think it is. So we have a little bit of time. Help us get there. We love you all. For all of you 205 people who are already subscribed to us, thank you so much. We appreciate you being around. And please smack the thumbs up button. That actually spreads the video out to more people, so that other Dolphins fans who are starting to get that craving for some football knowledge as the video games start to come out here in the next couple of weeks, we'll start to see an uptick. Already started talking fantasy football with some people. I ran into one of my league mates the other day. It's all coming back, baby. July is the last kind of like the last calm before the storm.
And we're getting our dynasty league draft scheduled here in the next couple months or couple weeks. I think maybe
it'll be my first
rookie only draft.
Dynasty league draft in a long time, actually. Probably 10 years since I've done one. So excited to get. I have the first pick though, so it was really friggin' easy for me, right?
Yeah. Kyle Lewis.
I'm the Miami Dolphins of that league. Anyways, we are starting our live shows July 29th. That's just a week from today, which is the day we're recording. You won't actually see this episode until, not June 29th. That's for sure. After this show, though, we will have our defensive back spotlight. That is actually set to go out on July 15th. And then we get into our training camp battle previews. That goes out July 22nd. Because training camp is I think just after that. I don't have the dates in front of me, but
preseason primer is the 29th. Is that what 29th is?
Yeah. So and then after the training camp preview, then we kick off our live shows. So July 29th will be our first show back live, and then every show from that point until the end of the season will be live. Josh and I do 2 shows a week during the season. On Monday, we do our recap of the game that just happened on Sunday. And then on Wednesday, we do our preview of the game that's likely happening on the next Sunday. Given that we don't have any primetime games this year, we'll pretty much always be playing on Sunday. Yeah.
So we're 5 weeks away from preseason starting?
We are
6 weeks?
Almost? Yeah, so we preview on August 5th. We're previewing week 1. That's the preseason.
That's nuts, dude.
Just 5 weeks.
It feels like there's so much left to do between now and this preseason. Not for us. I mean, for the teams.
Yeah, for the teams, for sure.
It feels like preseason's like months and months away. In reality, it's like a month and a couple of days.
Well, that's why the first couple of weeks of the NFL season is such a slog, because they get very minimal time to get prepared. It's kind of crazy.
That's nuts. That's nuts.
No more 2-a-days or 3-a-days and shit like that, right?
Yep. Miss those days.
All right, time to wrap up this show, Josh. It has been an amazing episode. We talked linebackers the entire show, one of our favorite position groups of our position spotlights. We have one more position spotlight coming up next week where we're talking cornerbacks and safeties, and then we dive into training camp battles, and then live shows begin once again. So for Josh, aka Aqua Ace, over here to my left, I'm Anthony Pinzone. This has been another episode of the 305 Gridiron. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, fins up, baby.